Right then, so can you just tell me once again who you are, if your first name, and what you're doing here today?
Yeah, so my name's Etienne and I'm with Extinction in Nottingham.
Brilliant. And what is your goal here today?
So basically we're here, we've got our messages along the road here, along the street.
Lots of messages here, wildfires.
Basically bring people's awareness of the climate and ecological emergency. And we've got the sign over there saying COP26 last chance.
Okay.
And this is basically to say, you know, we have the COP26 United Nations, all the nations of the world coming together in Glasgow in a few weeks' time to try and make a plan, a viable, sensible plan that's actually going to work to save our planet for future generations. And we're making sure that people know about it, because not sure everyone knows about it. And also, you know, to manage their expectations, because there's been 26 of these and none of them have actually delivered what we need to save our planet. So we're kind of trying to get out there.
It's a very noble cause. I mean, I really admire the way that you approach your problem.
Come and join us then.
Well, I'm here to do. I mean, to be
really
as unbiased, as objective as I can. Even though I do hold strong opinions against you, but I do believe that that if you do have a plan, it's worth listening to.
Yeah.
So, what would the world look like post this discussion, and your actions get implemented? What are the actions that you personally, not your whole group, just you personally, what do you think would be the sort of subtle first step to eliminating these problems for the future generations?
Yeah, well, so that's the interesting question. So I'm not a climate scientist or an engineer.
No.
But I suspect what we need to do is we need to change our food systems. You know, we all need to be moving towards.
Let's just stop you there before we go any further. Every single piece that we're going to go through, I just want to just know on a practical level. How can we supply the whole country with 100 million eggs every morning without doing battery cages?
Yeah, well, perhaps we need to have less than 100 million eggs per week or whatever it was you said. So this, you know, plant-based food system.
I've got to interrupt you there, because all of the solutions that I do here, they are like, I would wish that we could implement some sort of system where every side of the pot is happy, where people get cheap eggs for cheap prices, and also they don't have hens in cages, but at the same time we can't have both.
No. So no, I'm talking about moving away entirely from plant-based towards a plant-based food system. You know, where we have, you know, people may and still want to eat meat.
Etienne, I'm going to stop you there again. Etienne, I'm sorry there again. Sorry, Etienne. Keep interrupting you. Right. We've got to get it down.
We're going to go through a long time.
No. This is the last one. So if we change to agricultural-based society, okay, how do we plough and how do we process this food without oil and without petrol, without a capitalist system? How do we package these products? How do we label these products? How do we deliver these products without a capitalist system?
Well, I'm not going to say about whether or not it's a circular economy that we need, one that's in balance within the planetary boundaries. A book that I really found really influential was called Donut Economics by Kate Raworth. Yeah, and you've got to listen to people, listen to the experts. You don't need to listen to me. You know, I don't have all the answers to all your questions. But these are things that actually has to be done.
Is that everybody who's got a problem with the way the current society is run, okay, which is fair enough, because no one said it's perfect. There's loads of monopolies, loads of corruption, loads of profiteering, genetically modified food. I'm against the whole sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I was originally very leftist until I sort of got into a state of mind where, when it comes to a practical, pragmatic level, the way that the society has been built up is through incrementation of solutions. Nobody's decided to put hens in cages. No one's decided to pavement everywhere. It's only been done as a convenience and a better quality of life for human beings.
But
now you claim that if we change this society, human life will be saved by the climate. But in my argument against it, human life as a whole will go back to the dark ages, because you want us to farm our own food.
No, it's not necessarily. No. So no. Let's just say. So again, just coming back to it. My solution is to put these decisions in the hands of ordinary people.
Like you, who don't know what they're talking about, no offence.
No, but informed by experts on these things. And there's lots and lots of information out there. There's lots of ideas about circular economy, about different methods. There's more than one way of running an economy than neoliberal economics. Well, there's lots, and to be frank, let me be really, really clear about this. Yeah? All of what you've said, you may argue is true, but it's going to kill us in the end. We have to find alternatives, and that is where
we will find innovative ways to avoid the consequences, as we have done in the past.
Yeah, but the consequences will be uneven and disproportionately impacting people who have not caused it. So the solutions have to be accounting for fairness and kindness
Okay.
to all people and also to all life around
Okay,
Earth.
so you want justice for every living human being on the planet. So no one's allowed to die. No one's allowed to have a bad day.
No, I'm not saying
because
that.
people are gonna. I'm saying people are gonna suffer no matter whether you do good consequences or bad consequences. Because you're leveraging people's potential loss against people's potential loss.
It's
Because
about
either
sharing-
way,
it's
people
about
will
sharing.
die.
There's
I'm
a
saying
hugely
either way,
disproportionate-
people will suffer.
There's a huge disproportionate impact on different people and a different contribution, you know. And so this is the thing: is to share that out more evenly. You know, for all the black and brown people in the world who are suffering right now, who haven't got.
It doesn't matter what colour a human being is, whether they're suffering, they're suffering.
It's seriously.
There's lots of other people suffering. It doesn't. There's no need to focus on race, is there?
No, it's to do with parts of the world that have.
But why did you mention the colour of their skin?
Well, because it does disproportionately impact black and brown people. in
What?
other parts
Climate
of the world.
change?
Yes, it does. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
How?
In the global south, in
Give me an
Central
example.
America, in South America, in Africa. Well, we have, for example, and I really must stop. So I've got more stuff to do here today.
Tell me an
But-
example of how climate change has affected somebody just because they're brown.
Well, it's not just because they're brown. It's where they live. Yeah, it's where they live, and the extractivist
But
ways.
why did you select that particular group of people against anyone in Iceland who's having problems with
Well,
it?
yeah, well, of course, there's people having.
But why did you select that?
No, because what I'm saying is because.
Why did you
our-
feel that was relevant to the conversation?
Our system right
Etienne, why did you think it was relevant to the conversation to mention somebody's colour of their skin?
Because this climate emergency is founded on a basis of extractivism, yeah, and extracting, labour and resources from parts of the world that are not ours, yeah, and that is
Not
what's happening.
ours. So you believe in ownership then?
No, absolutely not. No, that's the whole point. That's what colonialism has done. It's spread all around the world. It's taken stuff, taken people away from where.
So colonialism was only negative then?
Say that again.
So colonialism was only negative then?
What do you mean only negative?
You're saying that colonialism was only negative on everyone?
Well, it seems to have had a very bad impact on a lot of people. It's fair to
Well,
say.
I would disagree, and I would suggest that they were definitely taking resources, they were definitely manipulating the government, they were definitely taking from countries. But as a side product,
still felt now.
as a side product of that, India's got the best railway in the world. And there's lots of education and systematic structures put in place in these countries that were never there. There was no libraries there, there's no schools there, there's no police stations there. Yeah, exactly. So. You seem to choose to view the negative aspects of everything with capitalism, and not view the positives of capitalism. You're sitting here right now in nice quality clothing that somebody in Malaysia made, somebody who's a child slave made your trainers, and yet you're in the city centre, in this metropolis, telling me that you think that's terrible. But you're an example of somebody who's a hypocrite. You say that people in other countries that are black, brown and white are creating suffering from colonialism, but yet you're the source provider of these clothes that they're wearing.
In the system. There's no doubt
So
about
what
it.
are you doing then, Etienne?
Well, I'm trying to ask for people to change it. I want to change.
Why don't you
this.
change, Etienne?
Well, I am trying to change
Well,
it.
why don't you
what would
wear?
want me to wear? Nothing.
No, moccasins. Go and weave your own clothes.
Right, I'm going to go and do
Thank you
some
very much for your time. Thank you.
What's your name?
Filippo.
And where's all this? Is it on
Do you want a card, yeah?
Something
You want, I'll give you a card, mate, yeah.
It's just getting rather silly.
Thank you very much.
But it's, just because we are part of the system doesn't mean we should say we want something different and we want a future for people.
Change starts at home.
Of course it does, and I'm doing.
Change starts with yourself.
And
Change yourself, the world will change.
I'm starting to